Hey everyone, Nic Varela here, co-founder of Lowbrow Opera Collective. In honor of our upcoming production of Sweets by Kate, we thought we'd share recipes of our favorite treats in this video series called Sweets by Nico. Since the holidays are upon us, I thought we'd start with my favorite holiday recipe, 7-layer cookies. These cookies define the holiday season for me. They are so decadent and so comforting, but simple enough to make huge quantities of. My mom would spend entire Saturday afternoons making these en masse, and I'd hover around her like a little goblin and steal scraps. The only equipment you'll need is a 13x9 baking pan, a fork, and maybe a rolling pin, but a food processor might make things a bit easier. Preheat your oven at 350 degrees, put a stick of butter in your baking pan, and place it in the oven for 3 to 4 minutes until the butter is just melted. Take it out of the oven and set aside. Yes, layer number 1 is butter. Now take a sleeve of 9 graham crackers and turn them into crumbs. I'm using a food processor, but Mom would put them in a plastic bag and smash them with a rolling pin or hammer. Place the graham crackers in the food processor and pulse 15 to 20 times until you get a coarse crumb. Don't over-pulverize them or the crust will lose its structure. Pour the graham cracker crumbs over the melted butter. Mix with a fork so the crumbs are coated in butter, then press down with a fork or an offset spatula. It doesn't have to be totally even, unless you're me, in which case it better be without flaw, lest these cookies go straight in the garbage. Pour a can of sweetened condensed milk on top of the crust. It's okay if there are a few holes, it'll all fill in while it bakes. The rest of the recipe is just lots of sprinkling, so get your sprinkling fingers ready. Sprinkle half a cup each of chocolate chips and butterscotch chips on top of the milk. Mom usually uses semi-sweet chocolate chips, but I prefer to use bittersweet because it helps balance out the sweetness of the rest of the ingredients. Layer on a cup of shredded coconut. Now it's time to get a little nutty. Mom usually used pecans because my dad liked them, but walnuts were on sale and ya girl is pinching pennies. If you're feeling bougie, I bet hazelnuts would be divine on here. You now have 7 layers of pure dopamine, which will soon lift you out of your seasonal depression. Place the pan in the oven and bake for about 20 minutes. While you wait, you can play a video game, drag out a cookbook and fantasize about your next bake, or pour some grains of salt onto the counter and watch them fall like the grains of sand in an hourglass. Cookies! If the coconut is your perfect shade of golden brown, yeet them out of the oven. Let them cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Cut the cookies into squares, then let them cool for another 15 minutes so the edges of each cookie solidifies. Remove from the pan, unhinge your jaw, and have at it. There you have it, the perfect holiday cookie. I'll post the recipe along with this video. Hope you enjoy your little squares of bliss. If you enjoyed this video and Lowbrow's work in general, please consider heading to our donation page. Giving Tuesday is next week, and since we shared some sugar with you today, we'd love for you to share a little sugar with us. Meow. Thanks, fam, and happy holidays.